Using a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley of Oxford High School in Michigan killed 4 of his classmates and injured several more on November 30, 2021. In December 2023, after his capture and subsequent charges, he was given a life sentence. Ethan was undoubtedly guilty of first-degree murder, but according to lawyer Karen McDonald, he wasn't the only one behind the shootings. She made the decision to prosecute Ethan's parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, for their claimed role in his crime after learning more about them and their alleged abuse of their kid. The Hulu/Disney Plus documentary Sins of the Parents, The Crumbley Trials, chronicles the parents following trials as well as the events leading up to their individual court appearances. We go behind the scenes of what turned into a historic case that resulted in a historic verdict finding both parents guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The documentary reveals that Ethan's parents gave him a rifle as a gift. A few days later, he murdered 4 classmates in his school using this very weapon. It was carelessness on the part of his parents to purchase a pistol for him. The parents' negligence, in the opinion of the prosecutors in the Crumbley trials, extended beyond that. Prosecuting attorney Karen McDonald tells us that the parents failed to take notice of their son's mental health issues. The documentary documents the efforts made by the prosecution team to get convictions against James and Jennifer Crumbley in a fly-on-the-wall fashion. We follow them as they develop their case against Ethan's parents and present their conclusions in 2 different 2024 trials. The prosecution team is given a lot of time, and the attorneys for the Crumbley parents don't say much at all. As a result, the documentary comes out as being quite biased because the only accounts of James and Jennifer that we hear are from those who opposed them in court. As a result, it is implied that neither of Ethan's parents did anything to support their son, with Jennifer specifically being blamed for putting her son last and spending more time with her horses and the man she was seeing instead. But were the parents of Crumbley really as careless as the prosecution said? Maybe, but hearing more about their side of the story would have been beneficial. Instead, with interviews with the parents of the shooting victims and the lawyers fighting for justice on their behalf, the documentary is significantly biased in favor of the case that was being built against them. Where were the interviews conducted with James and Jennifer Crumbley's neighbors? Or their relatives, friends, or both? To be fair, these individuals might have presented the Crumbleys in an even worse light than the prosecution did. However, it's possible that they revealed a more positive aspect of their personalities and their bond with Ethan. Notwithstanding these errors, there are moments during the documentary when the footage of the trials, in which the juries found Ethan and his parents guilty, makes for compelling viewing. Hearing the parents and siblings of the shooting victims discuss the devastating effects of Ethan's actions and his parents' inaction on their life also makes for very painful viewing. Despite the attention that has been paid to Ethan and his upbringing, these individuals and their children, who so tragically lost their lives, are what really matter. An adequate documentary about the guilt of 2 parents for their son's crime is called Sins of the Parents. It's a depressing and thought-provoking film, and it serves as another reminder that parents and educators everywhere must prioritize the mental health of their teenagers. Perhaps the Oxford High School shooting could have been avoided if Ethan's inner troubles had been given more weight by those close to him. We'll never know for sure, but despite all the criticism directed at the Crumbley family, one important issue is left out of this tale: the American freedom to keep and bear guns. There would, supposedly, be considerably fewer shootings at the country's schools if weapons weren't so easily obtained. Do you concur? Another documentary on this topic should cover a wider range of topics.